Hello, and welcome to MVAO 101, Auto Operator Operator Tools. This is part 4. MVAO 101 is the first in an 8-part series of courses covering MainView Auto Operator. In this session, we'll be discussing Auto Operator alerts, how you can manage them, and the different ways you can display them. Auto Operator can display the alerts in a few different formats. I'd like to take a minute to talk about those now. The ALE view provides a graphic summary display of your outstanding alerts broken down by the queues they're assigned to, and they're color-coded by severity. If we use the PF5 or expand key from this view, we'll be transferred to the XLA display, which provides us with a detailed list of the alerts, including the message text associated with them. From the XAL view, if I use the Enter key on an exception or an alert, or the PF4 key, I'll be transferred to the appropriate MainView display so you can begin your diagnosis of the exception. If we use the PF5 or expand key from this display, we'll get a pop-up help window that'll provide us with some additional information, or maybe it'll provide the operations staff with some procedural things that they need to do. And if we do a PF6 on the alert, we'll get detailed information about the alert, which can be helpful for doing troubleshooting with your alert generation. It's also possible to view the alerts in a tabular view, where we break them out by queues, and then within those queues we'll show you the number of alerts outstanding of each severity type. So where did these alerts come from? Well, they come from a whole bunch of different places, and really anything that's available to the rules processor can generate an alert. So that would include your MVS messages and commands, JES messages, CICS TDQ messages, DB2 messages, AOI exit messages for IMS, MQ events, NetView messages, messages occurring in the MainView BBI journal, alarms being generated by MainView Alarm Manager. From execs, we can generate alerts, or from the MainView monitors for CICS, DB2, and IMS. If we specify the alert queue, we can generate them from there as well. The Alert Overview, or ALE view, provides you with a high-level display of your alerts broken out by queues. You can expand from this view using the PF5 key to go to the Alert Detail display, which shows the message text. When you first come into the ALE view, you'll be prompted to build a profile for your display. And in that profile, you'll be specifying your queues that you want to display, and you can use an asterisk as a mask character to group your queues together. And you will also have the option to define a transfer command for each of your queues. Here's an example of the ALE view, and you can see that we have 6 different queues defined here, and then there are a number of different alerts in each of the queues. Note at the bottom it gives you a legend for your color coding so you can tell what the severities of the alerts are based on the color coding. When you first go into the ALE view, you'll be seeing a panel like this that'll prompt you to build your profile for the display. And here we will specify the names of the various queues that we want to display, and we can optionally associate a P command or a transfer command with those queues. The XAL view shows the text of each alert in additional detail. When you first go to the XAL view, you'll be prompted to complete your profile. For the XLA view, it's of limited value, so just go ahead and PF3 and you'll see all of the alerts displayed. There are several different actions you can take from the XAL view. You can expand the view using the PF5 for extended help via a pop-up window, and you can use the PF4 key to transfer to a different MainView application or to a different application within AutoOPERATOR. You can enter a reply in the line command area to pass an exec. You can delete an alert by tapping spaces in the response field. And you can get additional detailed information for doing debugging of your alert generation. Here's an example of the alert detail display. I'd like to explain the field that's labeled IND, which stands for indicator. There's a series of characters that could be in this field that indicate what capabilities are embedded behind the alert itself. If there's a C in the field, it indicates that there's a transfer command embedded in the alert that will take you either to another AO application or perhaps to a MainView display where you can begin your diagnosis session. If you see an H, that means there's an embedded pop-up help panel that can be used to pass along procedural information to the operations staff. If you see an E in this field, that means there's a follow-up exec embedded in the alert itself. Now in the response field, we can pass information to our exec when we invoke it, or we can also space out that field and it'll delete the alert itself. If you use the PF1 key in the alert detail display, you'll get a help screen like this. And here he explains what the various fields are in a logical fashion, so it's easy to understand what exactly you're looking at. Alerts can also be viewed in Windows mode, and the way you would access this is from the MainView primary menu. You would select option E, which is Alerts and Alarms, and then you would select option 1 for Alerts. And this allows you to view your alerts in several different ways. You can order them by time, by queue, priority, and you can even summarize the alerts by various fields. It looks very similar to the XAL screen, although you get a little extra bandwidth. The coloring is a bit nicer. We can also do other types of customization since we're in Windows mode. We can change our context, so that is what targets are providing information to our displays. We can change the colors of fields, the field order, so we can move things around. We can change the sort sequence. We can add fields or remove fields. We can set filters. Whole wealth of capabilities available there. The one difference when you're looking at the Windows mode alerts instead of the full screen ones is it uses what we call hyperlinks instead of transfer expanded detail functions. So when I go into the Windows mode to look at my alerts, I'm going to see a menu like this. And on the left, you can see we've provided you with some default sort sequences by time, queue name, and priority. So here's an example of the window mode alerts display, and this one is ordered by time. And here's another example of the Windows mode alerts display, and this one is ordered by the queue name, which you can see on the far right. And yet another Windows mode display of the alerts that's ordered by priority, so your most severe priorities appear at the top of the list. Now in Windows mode, we also have the ability to summarize the alerts by any of the fields that are listed in the view. In this case, we've summarized the first window, which is the part at the top, by the system name. And then at the bottom, what we've done is we've summarized them by the queue name. We can also look at the alert queue statistics. So in this view, what we see are the alerts assigned by queue and system, and then the number of alerts of each severity that are assigned to those queues. It's very similar to the ALS display. The only additional thing is we can see the system names in the Windows mode display, whereas the full screen mode does not provide us that information. There are several ways that we can remove the alerts from the display. Most commonly, people will do it manually by simply typing blanks in the field next to the alert to the left of it. But you can also do so using an exec or a rule. Now, if you've specified audit equals yes in your parameters when you defined AutoOPERATOR, it'll write a message to the log that'll indicate that it was deleted by a user. It'll also indicate which user it was that deleted it. This concludes MVAO 101 Operator Tools.